When I first started prepping, I realized what kind of threats would be possible in this country, whether it be man-made or natural. And I felt like I had to get my family and my house set up and ready to go. And I was in a hurry, really. What happens if something happened to me and my wife and kids were left alone? Who would take care of them? I can't see my kids crying on the floor because they're hungry. I try to just do what I can, because if something happens, then my family will understand then. I know right now they don't see it like I do.
You're taking the picture.
So I guess as a dad, as a husband, I feel like it's my responsibility as far as everything I put into it.
You look cool.
Wow, look at that. I'm making my grandkids into preppers. This is how it starts. Pretty cool? What do you think? So when we decided to buy our first home together, my idea was to move outside of the city limits. My wife and my kids were more into being in town with everybody else. So the property we're at now opened up. My wife liked the house because of the location, and she thought it was the good size, and she liked the setup and the layout of the home. For me, the reason why I settled on it was because there is a piece of land on the side of the house where I have my garage, and I can do a lot as far as projects are concerned. When I decided to do my garden, I knew that the soil down here is really bad, so I decided to do raised beds, and I figured just to save on money, I collected these 275-gallon totes from the garbage at my work.
And being from up north, like when he made the garden, I didn't expect anything to really grow. So I was really shocked that we ended up with so much, like right off the bat, his first try. So I was impressed with that.
Also, I wanted to make a chicken coop. When I go get the chicken eggs, usually I'll bring them a treat. Today it's gonna be just some peppers and a few tomatoes from the garden. I really didn't know how to do it. I think it took probably about 2 to 3 months with the concrete, with the fencing, all the woodwork. Don't come in here, just kind of watch your step, and there's a little bit of chicken crap on the floor here. It's pretty big, it's about 30 by 10, 12 feet maybe. Then I just built the whole pen around it. I got the one little chicken door that's on solar. This is the feeder I built out of a repurposed barrel that had food coloring in it. I get about 15 to 18 eggs in a day. This is about a day and a half to 2 days worth of eggs right now. I didn't come yesterday down here to collect the eggs just because it is so bad with the rain. I also incorporated a water system in it, so I had to figure out how to build it so that the water would work for the chickens. So basically it just comes off this side, my right side of the roof over here. It's PVC 2-inch. And I just have it ran to my first IBC tote, and then the water just flows down. Then from there, it just runs all the way to the chickens. I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, in the suburbs of Parma. After high school, I went to be an electrician at a vocational school up in Cleveland. And then when I met my wife, I moved down to Alabama, where I'm at now. Early 20s, I really didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. My head was not really in the right place. You know, looking back, I was more concerned about the now than later. I was still more into just hanging out with my friends, really, just having a good time. My daughter was born in 2009. Maybe when she was between 6 months and a year, I started skipping through TV and watching the news. There was a buddy at work that would talk about it a lot. And from there is when it really started as far as my political attention started to grow.
I think he got into this because of politics, maybe. Yeah. When everything started going kind of downhill, he got scared, and he didn't ever want us to have to suffer.
Maybe a little bit of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, I agree on that.
Also, I started getting onto YouTube. I watched a lot of survival videos, how to collect water, food. And then from there, I just kind of escalate into prepping. My goal was to get at least a week's worth of food to survive, water.
I remember the first time he brought a box from the military full of the vests and the MREs.
So this is pretty much my first box of stored food.
And we just thought he was off his rocker. But
and when I got that small little few day stash, I was like, all right, you know, at least I got a couple days worth, probably more than he's got next door, you know. But then as you get more into prepping and more into, you know, the weeds of it, you realize we're out in the middle of the boonies in this little town. Like, you're not gonna be able to depend on anybody. So I'm gonna show you my gear I have. This is my prepper's closet. I got just a little bit of military gear, some tools, some camping gear. I got me some Kevlar helmets here. And then I'm gonna show you my body armor. It's just steel plates body armor. I got 2 sets of this. In 2015, I decided to join the National Guard as a mechanic. 91 Bravo was my MOS. Just starting from top to bottom, I got a whole box here of, and everyone should do this. There's not gonna be no dentist in the collapse, so you better get yourself lots of toothpaste. These containers, it's just Tylenol and ibuprofens. I got first aid medical right here. It's just more bandages, A&D ointment, electric heaters. I've got a camping stove here in the corner. You know, wool blankets. I've got a bow and arrows behind you here. So if there was an EMP that took out the power grid of the United States, obviously it would be mass chaos everywhere. You couldn't buy nothing, couldn't use your credit cards, ATMs. I mean, everything would be down. As far as my backup power plan, I didn't have one. I did feel like I was missing a big piece of my prepping plan without any backup power. Then I finally got my hands on an OUPES generator, Mega 3. I just found a spot where on a day like this gets as much sunlight as it possibly could, but it's been bad overcast, and I'm just gonna turn it on, and already you're seeing some voltage already going through on the screen here. The volts are at 22 right now. When the grid power goes down, first thing I would want to use the generator for would be for my refrigerator, of course, because with all the people that would be here, and we want to keep our food fresh. Okay, so we are plugged up. The refrigerator is on. If it was a grid down situation and I got the refrigerator going now, I'm gonna put in a space heater, and it's warm. It's already getting warm. Down here, people are not usually prepared for that cold of weather. So with this heater, and I have a couple extra heaters as well, that we can plug up to the generator, keep us warm enough to survive the cold. Prepping has made me open my eyes what the world really is. For the people that are sleeping still, or I like to call them like the zombies, they don't know what's going on outside of their own personal lives. And when you start to open your eyes and expand your horizons, you have a wider range of information that will help you in more crisis times. Right now, my house is 8 total. So if I were to bring all of us, I feel like as long as we rationed and everyone didn't sneak little snacks and foods here and there, I think I can probably do at least 1 to 2 months if we really stretched it far. So the feeling of being all alone when it comes to prepping, it does make me feel like I'm doing a lot of work, a lot of stress. I do have a lot of discussions with the family and my wife about me spending too much time or money here and there on it. I wish I can wake up every day and turn on sports again, turn on the PlayStation, or go out to the bars, or, you know what I'm saying, on the weekends and have a few drinks. I wish I can just wake up and do the fun things that I used to do without having to worry. But the prepping lifestyle that I engage in is way more important than entertainment. It's a big load to carry doing it by yourself. It makes you feel lonely a little bit. Even at the house when I'm doing things, you know, they'll be walking by or something, but I'm doing it by myself. And that's okay. I mean, I'm hoping one day they'll come around. I mean, I love my wife and kids. Someone's got to do it. I really like the OUPES generator that I have. It's got lots of good features and it powers all the components that I need for an SHTF situation. Another reason why I like OUPES is because they have the OUPES Help program, which is just a program where they take 5% profits and they give it back to the community that needs backup power. If anyone is looking for a backup generator, OUPES is the best option, in my opinion, to choose from. They have a bunch of different options. Their customer service is great, and you will definitely not go wrong buying an OUPES generator.